Retail traders use time incorrectly. They see a timestamp, a session window, or a number on the clock and treat it as if it creates a trade. This is one of the most common mistakes I see in their trading. And personally, I have 3 timing rules that I use. 2 are very simple, built around the macro, and then there is one more advanced rule that gives us another way for time to meet price. But before we get into them, there is one distinction you need to understand, which is that time is not the setup, it is the permission. Price still has to be in the correct environment at the correct point of interest. It still needs to have the right liquidity interaction, SMT, CSD, and the whole entire reversal sequence. Only after those conditions exist do I ask whether time meets price. So throughout this video, keep one idea in mind. That time does not tell me where price should reverse, but it tells me when a valid reversal is allowed to deliver. Throughout the trading day, we have repeating macro windows. The standard macro runs from 45 minutes past the hour to 15 minutes past the next hour, so XX45 to XX15. For example, 9:45 to 10:15, 10:45 to 11:15, or 11:45 to 12:15. A macro can either accumulate, manipulate, or distribute. Those are 3 possible functions, not a sequence that every macro has to complete. Ideally, I want the macro to deliver price, and if price keeps on accumulating through consecutive windows without meaningful delivery, that is a warning. Price action may be inefficient, difficult, or simply not worth forcing. That is all the theory we need. The important part is understanding what job the macro is performing. And there are 2 different situations, and confusing them creates most of the timing mistakes. The first is a reversal macro, and in that case, the smart money reversal forms inside the macro. The macro creates the reversal and begins the distribution. The second is a distribution macro, and in that case, the smart money reversal already formed before the macro begins. The macro itself is not creating the reversal, it is only catching the distribution. Same macro time window, but different job. And because the job is different, the execution rule is also different. So ask yourself a question first. Did the smart money reversal form inside the macro, or was it already there before the macro began? Let's start with the reversal macro. The macro begins, then inside that bounded macro window, that window of time, the smart money reversal forms. Price reverses and distribution starts while the macro is still open. So the macro's job is to create the reversal and begin the distribution. That distribution can then continue beyond XX15. Because the macro itself created the reversal, I can execute inside the macro or outside the macro as long as the doll has not been met. The last condition matters. I am not extending permission after the drawn liquidity has been delivered, but my execution is not automatically invalidated just because the clock goes after XX15. Now let's take the second situation. The smart money reversal forms before the macro begins. As the macro approaches, the reversal structure already exists. The macro did not create that reversal. Its only job is to distribute. That makes execution very time sensitive, and my execution window goes to XX42 to XX15, provided of course that the drawn liquidity has not been met. Notice the small distinction. The actual macro is still XX45 to XX15. XX42 is not the start of the macro, it is a 3-minute pre-macro execution buffer. So when the smart money reversal formed before the macro, I can't just take the trade whenever I want, I need the macro to catch the distribution. So why give execution permission from XX42 instead of waiting until exactly XX45? The comparison on screen makes the reason clear. Because when the smart money reversal already exists, the macro can begin distributing immediately as it opens. And if I refuse to consider execution until the clock prints XX45, the first move may already be underway. Now I am offside, I am late to the cleanest part of the move, and I may be forced to chase a continuation entry instead of positioning before the distribution begins. The 3-minute buffer solves that practical issue. At XX42, I can begin looking for execution, and at XX45, the actual macro begins and my execution window remains valid through XX15 as long as the drawn liquidity has not been met. The buffer is not an extra macro, it's simply preparation for a distribution macro whose reversal already formed, and the draw on liquidity condition still applies throughout it. Sometimes an otherwise valid reversal forms outside the normal macro execution conditions. Normally, I may wait for the macro to catch the distribution, but there is another mechanical way for time to meet price, which is the famous 369 time. Start with only the minutes digits. Let's take 733 for example. 3 plus 3 equals 6, and 6 is one of the valid results between 3, 6, or 9. So in this framework, time meets price. This is simply another mechanical way for time to meet price. By itself, it still means nothing unless the reversal sequence is already valid. But what if the minutes digits do not produce 3, 6, or 9? Take 732. Start with the minutes. 3 plus 2 equals 5, and 5 is not valid. So now we can include the hour. 7 plus 3 plus 2 equals 12. 12 has still 2 digits, so we reduce it again. 1 plus 2 equals 3, and that is valid. So that means that time meets price. The regression rule stays consistent. If any total has more than 1 digit, add those digits again. Keep reducing until you reach 1 digit. All calculations in this framework are performed using the 24-hour timestamp. So 7:32 in the evening is written as 19:32 before I calculate it. The order is simple. You try minutes first. If that final reduced result is not 3, 6, or 9, use the full 24-hour timestamp and reduce it exactly the same way. When I am working with correlated assets, every asset does not need to make time meet price. Imagine asset A has no time alignment and asset B is the one where time meets price. Asset C is just supporting or is there for SMT context. That for me is enough. Only one correlated asset needs to make time to meet price, and time itself can align in either one of two ways: through the basic macro framework or through the 369 calculations. Do not turn this into a checklist where every correlated market must print the same condition. Now, let's put the entire sequence back together. First, the correct environment and location or point of interest, then the appropriate liquidity interaction, then we have SMT, CSD, the smart money reversal sequence, and only after that do I ask whether time meets price. And when it does, the reversal sequence has permission for me to deliver. So if the clock produces 3, 6, or 9, that does not mean take the trade. And if a macro window opens, that does not mean take a trade. Time does not create order flow, drawn liquidity, point of interest, SMT, CSD, and the entire reversal. It only becomes relevant once those pieces are already there. A macro window or a 369 result is never an automatic trade, because time doesn't tell me where price should reverse, but it tells me when a valid reversal is allowed to deliver.